everybody, it's Deanna and Curtis. We're coming at you with some harmonic havoc, and we're going to review Here We Go Again from our Second Coming album, and this is Curtis.
Hey guys.
And here we go, let's get into it.
Yay!
Yay!
Okay, so I'm going to try not to keep stopping this, but this is, I know it sounds kind of like a party rock song, but this is pretty deep, guys, with the lyrics, and we put a lot of thought and work into this one, and I don't know if anybody even realizes it. So it sounds like, I don't know what it sounds like. I don't know if the lyrics make any sense if you don't know what we're talking about. I'm sure some people figured it out. So they came at the 2 a.m. hour dressed in black and ready to attack. So this is about Antifa and all the attacks they did a few years ago. And they were actually doing this to people to intimidate them. And I'm not even going to try not to get political. We're going to get political. We are political and almost proud of it. Sorry. But, this is the brown shirts of the Democrats and of the Biden administration. That's Antifa. And that's what they are. And they did a lot of horrible things to a lot of people, and
more and more is coming out every day.
Yeah, I pretty much disagree with them on everything they believe, so we're kind of bashing them in this song quite a bit. Okay, so that's what's going on here. Now you're going to hear a chorus here, and I'm just going to say it now so I don't have to keep stopping the song about "Here we go again, I'm back from vacation." And this is basically referring to being locked up by the government, the Biden administration. We're talking about January 6ers and a lot of people that just went out and protested against Biden and stuff. And they got locked up. And I think it was going to get a lot worse if they won re-election. And we were maybe a lot of us going to get locked up. And it's almost like a vacation, because there ain't nothing you can do about it. And you got back from vacation. You had to take a class on representation. In other words, you had to learn that they're right and you're wrong and go through the brainwashing just like every commie government always does to its people that don't agree before it does worse things to them.
What is that called?
What?
Re-indoctrination? Indoctrination camps?
Re-education.
Re-education
camps.
Yeah,
they called them re-education camps.
We saw those all over the place in El Paso.
Yeah, that's what we have.
That was one of our running jokes, right? It's like, oh, there's a re-education camp they're building right over there.
What are you talking about?
We were talking about after they assimilated all the illegal immigrants, they're going to put all the conservatives in there, in the buildings, the white buildings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so there's a giant center that the government built. I don't know if it's state government, federal government, local government, but would you say it's 2 Walmarts? The size of 2 Walmarts, right on the outskirts of El Paso, Texas. Giant wall around it, barbed wire, and they house migrants there, supposedly. And this place is just huge. It's a complex. Like, it's the biggest thing in the whole city area. And when it's working, there's about, 300 cars that parked there?
At least.
Of the employees that work there. I mean, this thing is freaking huge, and it's security like crazy. And I think what they do is they bring in thousands of migrants and process them there and then ship them off all over the country to wherever they want to ship them off to. I know they do that because it's come out in the news a few times. And so that's what she's talking about. We make the joke that, that after they get done with migrants in another 4 years, that might be where they basically lock up all the conservatives for re-education. Yeah, re-education camp. So that's kind of the ongoing joke around here. Anyway, so that's what's going on with the lyrics there. Wow, what a sidebar. Let's listen to a little more of the song here.
Spouting off junk about their power. Some skullhead dude said, hey, my name is Jack. Here we go again. I'm back from vacation. I had to take a class on representation. Here we go again. I'm back from vacation. Say goodbye to recreation.
So, skull-headed dude named Jack is referring to Blackjack, kind of our band logo, mascot dude that's in all our albums, you know, and that's what that's talking about. He's going to come save the day. And so, but that's what the chorus is about, is we had to take a class on representation. Got to say goodbye to recreation. The government's after you and re-educating you, and that's what's going on. And we think there's going to be a lot more of that to come at some point in the future. I hope not. But yeah, that's what this song is about. And we had a lot of fun with it. There's some really silly lyrics in here too that are coming up. And this one has Vadrum playing drums on it. You guys can find him on YouTube. He's really big. He does a lot of classical stuff and Dream Theater covers and things like that. Excellent drummer, one of our favorite guys. And he may or may not be playing a lot of the songs on the new album. We're still kind of scheduling that all out, and we'll see, because he's really busy too. Anyways, let's get back to the song.
Zombies on my lawn. My natural spot said, hey, baby, get your gun. Big Blackjack waves his magic wand. And out fell books, bits and cinnamon buns. Here we go.
Okay, so it sounds like totally stupid lyrics, right? So the brainwashed zombies are on our lawn. That's Antifa. Somebody said, hey, baby, get your gun. Blackjack's there. He waves his magic wand and out pops, what was it? Books, videos, and cinnamon buns. You can take care of their munchies and educate them too at the same time. So that's what those really silly lyrics are talking about.
Again, I'm back from vacation. My wife took the class on representation. Here we go again. I'm back from vacation. Say goodbye to recreation. Here we go again. I'm back from vacation. My wife took the class on relaxation. Here we go again. I'm back from vacation. Say goodbye to recreation. Say goodbye to this recreation. Say bye-bye, traveling
Who's this singer, Deanna? It's not you.
No, it's was it Bo? What was
Well,
his name?
he wasn't allowed to use his name because
Yeah,
he was
under contract.
he was under
still.
contract with
Yeah.
a label or something. So I don't know if we should use his name. But
Very talented singer, though.
yeah, good singer. He's doing like country bluesy stuff, but he's got an excellent kind of AC/DC thing going on when he wants to. But yeah, good singer. We just wanted to try something different and bring this guy in. Kind of a guest singer. He does a few songs on this album, and he did a really good job. Deanna still wrote the melody, and basically you recorded yourself singing it so he could
Yes.
learn it how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
And now when we do this song live, Deanna still sings it and kicks butt on it too. So it worked out great. But he's a good dude, and yeah, he was a great kind of a guest singer
Musician, yeah.
on this album. Yeah.
Yeah. On 10,000 Messiahs, he sang as well. And I actually got to like talk shop a little bit, which I haven't got to do. You get to do it all the time.
I don't get to do it ever. Yeah,
well, you
well,
do it with Rico
Rico,
a little bit
yeah.
for the first time. But yeah, I just told him on 10,000 Messiahs I wanted like kind of like a altar bridge ending. And I can't remember what the part was, but he knew exactly what I was talking about.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that means.
Yeah. I just remember saying it.
But that's cool.
Yeah, I can't remember which part it was on, but
Oh, good.
yeah, but he knew exactly what I was talking about. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say for our band and our music, that solo is really out. That guitar solo is really out of character a little bit because it's in a major key. It was actually harmonic major, and I love harmonic minor, but sorry, major pentatonic, and I love minor pentatonic. I also love harmonic minor, but I hardly ever use harmonic major. But anyway, not to get in the weeds here, but that one's out of pentatonic major, and so it gives it that nice kind of loose, relaxed major thing, and it still jams kind of, and it
Yeah.
fit over the chord progression really well too. So that worked out great. But I can't think of another song where I've gotten to do that.
No, and it's flipping me out because you're trying to do a couple on this new album, and I'm like, it's just a different, it's a different freaking scale for a singer to sing over. But like, I'm glad because like I listen to some of the blues stuff, and they do that a lot, and so that's definitely a blind spot
Yeah.
that I didn't know that I had.
Yeah.
And so Curtis is trying to stretch me a little bit, which is good.
Yeah,
He's
on
always
the
stretching.
on the new album coming out, and please don't think I'm trying to compare us to these bands, but there's some stuff that sounds like kind of like old bluesy stuff, like some of the old Van Halen and AC/DC stuff. And it's just I think it's going to be awesome, but a little bit of an adjustment for Deanna at times because we don't do a ton of that stuff. I mean, she's sung AC/DC and things like that before in the past.
Trying to
But-
write your own vocal
Yeah,
line over it
na-
is hard.
Now you got to write your own
Yeah.
melody and make the lyrics
Yeah.
fit and phrase it right and everything. And it's a little different.
And
And
I've had to ask him a few times what the scale is because I guess it's what is it, like a raised third and fourth in
Well-
the scale?
well, there's that. So there's a blues scale, and then
Uh-huh.
a pentatonic just kind of the third is neither major nor minor.
Yeah.
You just kind of
Like a neutral.
yeah, it's a neutral scale,
Mhm.
really. I mean, it's not, but it is. Anyways, it's different, and it was a little weird for you, I think,
Yeah,
to write
as a vocalist. Yeah.
a melody over the pentatonic scale because we don't. I like
No,
it,
we-
and every guitar player out there uses it a ton. And we don't usually.
Yeah,
we
we
usually
haven't-
stay more with
yeah.
natural minor, harmonic minors, and stuff like that. We're more of a classical kind of bent as far as
Melodian, yeah.
how we structure the songs. Yeah. So, anyways, but yeah, that's been a little bit of a change, and so a little more of this flavor coming up on the new album. Although I think the new album is a little heavier
Mhm.
generally
Yeah.
than all of our other albums. I would say I might be wrong on that. I don't know. I think so.
Well, we're up to like 14 or 15 now, aren't we?
What?
Songs.
Yeah. Yeah.
At least on the cutting
I
room
don't know if
floor,
they're all
but
going to be on the
yeah.
album, though. There might be some bonuses on there for
Yeah.
people that order early.
Yes, come early commercial.
KillDevilTheory.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, let's get back to this song here.
Didn't want an education. Jesus saved them from themselves and their sin. Worship Karl Marx, Big Brother taxation. Blackjack knowledge in the rules of the wind.
Worship Karl Marx, big government taxation? Something like that.
Big Brother taxation.
Big Brother taxation.
Yeah,
Yeah. And Karl Marx in it. Yeah. So, like, if you talk to your normal Antifa, hardcore lefty person, all those things are like idols for them, and they can do no wrong, of course, and that's their God. Government is their God. And we're just talking about here trying to share the truth with them of Jesus. And that's a tall order. We were, for our Christian friends out there, we were listening to Ken Ham the other night at Calvary Chapel, Chino Hills on YouTube. And he was talking about how America used to be like the ancient Jews in that they already believed in God. They already had some knowledge of the Bible. And that's how Billy Graham happened. Whereas today they're more like the Greeks when Paul went to evangelize to the Greeks, and they worship many gods or no gods, or I think every man worships something. They can say they're an atheist, but that's really their religion. Then if you really talk to them and get deep into it, it's a religion for them. And so they all worship something. That's what we were designed to do. Anyways, but we've gone from a country that was God-fearing to some extent, had basic knowledge of the Bible, to some people don't know anything about it and don't understand even what the gospel is or what it's about, and so it's a totally different mindset on how you have to talk to them now. You've basically gone from the realm of Peter to Paul. Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to
They were
add on to
saying,
that?
we're not really trying to use like the Peter type evangelism where you're just like Curtis was saying, the society kind of has the basic knowledge of what you're talking about, like the Jews did. We're going more towards, which is the harder part of evangelism and being a Christian, is going to like the Greeks, because they don't have any foundation.
No foundation.
You have to teach them a lot just to get them up to speed. And that was a pretty interesting topic.
Fascinating.
Yeah. So Pauline was actually he had to do the really hard work. But I know God prepared him from, he knew the Jewish law really well, so he could advocate for any Greeks that came in that said, and he's even told Jews, he's like, you don't need to be circumcised to be a Christian. And he just used his knowledge of Judaism to help kind of bridge that gap. At least that's my take on why God chose Paul.
You're all right, but we don't got to bring circumcision up.
Yeah.
Ow. Golly. That is true. That was a big thing. They don't mean literally circumcision like for a guy, but circumcision of the heart is what's important.
Yes.
Whereas
your outward.
A lot of people try to be legalistic and think you had to be circumcised to be able to have a relationship with God, and that Paul was talking about that. No, it's not snippy. It's circumcision of your heart is what's important. Yeah. Anyways, let's move on.
Here we go again. I'm back from vacation. I had to school them on Bible meditation. Here we go again. I'm back from vacation. Say goodbye to recreation. Here we go again. We're back from vacation. No more Comax, Big Brother taxation. Here we go again. We're back from vacation. Say goodbye to recreation. Say goodbye to recreation. Say hi to its revelation.
So I think the lyrics there are pretty self-explanatory, and you can tell the singer here. I think he had a lot of fun with that one. Sounds like, anyway, he's doing some funny vibrato stuff there at the end and everything, and just embellishing. I think he had a good time with that. What were you gonna say?
Just going off that last point that you made, we're talking about Peter, where your whole society kind of knows what you're talking about and has the same values, and it can brought down to where people don't value the constitutional republic principles anymore. So we're having to do the work of Paul by bringing all these people that have learned that socialism is the way.
Yeah,
And
collectively,
re-educating them,
we don't know our history, or
Yeah.
we don't even know what this nation's
So we're
about
actually
anymore.
Pauline in what we have to do in our evangelism of bringing people out of the socialist delusion back into the constitutional republic, and how important it is for personal liberty and being able to actually live free and not under the government's thumb. So, a lot going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and on the American history front, I've been a teacher for 20 years now, and I can tell through the kids' essays what the mindset is collectively, so, almost all of my students at some point have to take a government class, and I teach kids from all over the country in different school districts and things online, and so I get to sample a lot of different kids, and it's high school, middle school, and they always have to write an essay on what is the purpose of government, where they have to take a quote from a president or a famous person. and either argue for it, to support it, or against it. And I remember 20 years ago when I started teaching, there were still kids that kind of knew what the founders were about and would argue about, government's here to protect your rights and your freedoms. And now I almost never hear that. It's all about government should give me this free, give my parents this, give us this, and provide us this, and we need health care and this and welfare and all that. It's never about freedom or rights, which is exactly what the government was originally purposed to protect, and so I can tell what the teachers are teaching them is wrong, or completely lacking. They never got the even if you disagree with it, they never got the other side.
The foundation.
Yeah, and it's just gone. It's dead. And so if the parents don't educate their kids on that, it's pretty much gone or dead, unless you just luck out, hit the lottery, and get in the right school with the right teacher. And so, that's a huge part of this, and it's I fear for the future for sure.
And they use the whole, one culture is more holy than the other type lies, and that they're always trying to bring America down and look how all these bad things that America did. But I was listening to a podcast a few days ago, and they said, when did America have the first black representatives in their Congress?
In 1700s.
Yes. When did Europe?
Not till 1980s.
Yes.
Something like that.
And actually, it was Barton, right?
Yeah.
Doing
Is it William or what? Barton.
Wallbuilders.com. Yeah, he's really good.
He's a historian.
But he was telling us, that
David Barton.
Yeah, David Barton. So back then, in the 1700s and before, even in the 1800s, when somebody had prominence in a society, they would paint paintings of them. And guess how many black people had paintings done of them in America? A bunch. And when that started to change, I believe was under Woodrow Wilson, where he took all the prominent black people out of government. And
yeah, he
do we learn about that?
He pushed segregation in the military hard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how horrible is America then? Yes, we did do some crappy stuff, but there are also people, really good people in America.
The wrong ones get blamed
that
for
were
sure.
Pushing back on it. And he was also saying that
a lot of our founders were abolitionists too.
Yeah, Christian abolitionists. And the Jamestown versus Plymouth. The Jamestown colony came over, and they basically wanted the Indians to take care of them. They were socialists, and they died off from cannibalism, and they're the ones that tried to do some horrible things against the Indians.
Slow down, Mama. They died off from starvation. They had cannibalism, but they died off from starvation because they didn't want to work.
Yes.
They want to sit on their ass and tell the Indians they had to take care of them and wait for the king to send over supplies and everything. Whereas Plymouth actually quoted the Bible, if you don't work, you don't eat.
Yep.
And so they worked hard in a much more successful colony.
Well, and they were trying to, every time they had an issue in the Bible and they started the witch hunts that they had. Do you know how long it lasted in the colonies? 18 months?
Yeah.
And it was a big thing around the whole damn world. And that lasted for 15 years in other parts of the world. It only lasted for 18 months in America. Why is that? Because they went back to the Bible and said, hey, look at this. This is God says that this is not right. And so they were humble enough and they were pious enough and they knew their Lord enough and they knew their Bible enough to know that they were in the wrong, and they humbled themselves and said, how can we fix that? And so they abolished the putting to death of witches.
Yeah, they realized they were wrong,
Yeah.
and that wasn't...
But you don't hear that in the 1619 Project, do you?
No, you won't hear any of that.
No, you don't hear where we were working side by side with black men in the government, and they were held in high respect. And the, is it Hoosier State in Indiana?
Mm-hmm.
That state, I didn't even know this, but that state, what was the state team? Was
So the Hoosiers is the nickname of the Indiana University sports teams. It's their mascot, and it's named after, I don't remember his first name, but his last name Hoosier. He was a preacher, a black preacher, and
he related to the common man really well.
Yeah.
And so they named their athletic team after him.
One of our famous founders said he was the greatest orator he had
Yes.
ever heard. I don't remember which one it
Yes,
was.
over
but
Wesley, over, all
over
these
Whitfield, over all
everything,
of them. Yeah.
like the ones that you know of the Great Awakening, so.
Yeah.
And another point that you brought up with our daughter, because she's going through college classes, high school classes right now. You were saying that across the world, how many constitutions and how many forms of government have they gone through in 250 years? Like in the Congo, like it's like every year they're changing governments.
Mm-hmm.
How many have we gone through in 250 years?
One.
So very stable nation, and yet people are trying to tear it down.
Our Constitution is an amazing governmental structure when you actually follow it, but
Yep.
we follow it less and less every day. And so that's why you see all the executive orders, because Congress won't do anything. They drag their
nothing.
feet. They don't want to get blamed for anything. And they've basically given up all their power to the president, whoever that may be. And so each side just rules by executive order now, which, maybe that's the way to do it. I don't know. It's kind of like an elected dictator. I don't know. It's sad
It
that
is that we even have to do this.
people are so selfish. They want to keep their little gravy train going that they won't even do their job or do what's right for the people they represent. It's really sick.
Yep. A lot of corruption.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of corruption.
Yeah.
So, and my prayer is that we can, it's not going to be, I don't know, it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be pretty, but I'm glad things are being revealed that we didn't even know about. We kind of assumed because we're like, where is all this money going? And there's all kinds of crap coming out every single day.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like opening a new candy bar every day because everything that we feared, that we were told we were freaking crazy about, is being revealed. It's like the light is casting its light on the darkness, and it's all coming up.
Yeah, the roaches are definitely scurrying in our government right now with Doge and everything going on. I think that's awesome. I love watching it. It's the most entertaining thing I could ever see. This is like watching the Super Bowl to me every day. It's like a new present every day. Anyways, I wanted to get back on the music a little bit, and I wanted to talk about Vajram for a second. And I just wanted to say that he was really fun to work with because he's got a gift for knowing like what fits a song well. And I remember we've written with a lot of drummers.
He's really good at that.
Yeah, and they all had strengths and weaknesses, but he would get. So what we would do is I would record the songs to him. I don't know if you guys know, but he's from Italy, and he lives in Italy. And I'd record the guitar tracks and then send them to him. And I'd give him a little guidance what I wanted, but I'm always real careful not to say too much to other musicians because I don't want to bias them. I want to see what they come up with because sometimes they have ideas that work better than what I can imagine, you know what I'm saying, for their part. And so I told him a little bit, but then he'd write the part and it just freaking made every song better what he did. He just writes excellent parts. His fills are awesome. He does everything really well, but then he also writes really good parts. And I remember when we heard Die Another Day the first time, which is a different song, of course, but I don't know how he did a part on it. I was like, man, that sounds really complicated and difficult. And at first I wasn't even sure I liked it, but then I kept listening to it and I was like, that's freaking awesome, man, because I hadn't heard anything like that. And yeah, just really creative dude. And some of the drummers we work with, they're all good players, but we have to give them a lot more kind of guidance and parameters on what to play. And sometimes we even have to have them redo it because it doesn't work. We've had a few of those lately. And, I'm not trying to bash anybody or anything. They do other things really well. But Vajram was always super creative, and I was always excited to see what he would send back when we sent him the raw tracks, and it always made the songs better, and I was just really impressed by that, and that's why it's really fun to work with that dude.
Yeah. Ditto.
You have any final thoughts?
Nope. I think I'm good.
Yeah, so that's what we got there. That's Here We Go Again. That's a song we wrote on our third album, Second Coming, and you can hear that anywhere that there's music, and pretty much, and all our CDs and everything are on sale at KillDevilTheory.com.
Follow the light, guys.
Absolutely.
See you later.
That light.
AT.
Yeah, phone home. All right, guys, that's
All
our
right,
show.
thanks.
Bye.
Bye.